going on YouTube? Tyler here with False Neutral Media. Alongside me, my co-host Trevor. Brother, we just had Daytona.
We did. Yeah.
What a freaking race.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, yeah, we'll start with the 250s. Talk about, we got a lot to talk about 250s and 450s. So let's get into it. Hit it off.
Yeah. One, PC Cowboy boys looked very fast this weekend.
Yep.
Very much putting things together. And I think there's a couple of factors that are, I wouldn't say glaring at us.
Yeah.
But we did get some interesting racing this weekend when it comes to the 250 class, as well as the 450. Seth Hammaker was looking absolutely phenomenal. He was fast. He had good line choices, all of them attributed to his success. I'm super happy for him. He deserves it. He worked really hard for it. Drew Adams was also looking super fast until the whoops claimed him in the middle of the main event, which was most unfortunate. I think we're starting to see some stuff happen over at Kawasaki in the way that they're approaching things. So I'm very interested to see where that goes from here.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got our red plate holder, even still, Pierce Brown, coming in to round out your top three. And we have the story of Cole Davies also fighting through the pack again for a second place finish. Joe Shimoda rounding out with fourth after going down in a brutal sand section.
Yeah.
Absolutely brutal cross rut that face planted him into the sand. Hopefully he's doing okay with his neck and it didn't agitate anything, but that's what we were seeing. And with our top five rounded out with Dext and Bennick, I want to know who is standing out to you and how do you think Kawasaki is doing with pulling together this East Coast Championship as we get it started?
Dude, honestly, the main person that really stood out for me was Seth Hammaker, because he has been, like you stated, fighting to claw his way up top. He knows he has the speed. We saw it last year. And he's definitely here. He wants to break that PC curse. And I think we got it at Daytona. And of all tracks, Daytona. So it was really awesome to just see him and Drew Adams. Like you said, he went down. It looks like he has possibly a thumb fracture. So he's going to get checked out. I hope it's a little sprain and he'll be able to get back into it. But even if it's a broken finger, will Drew Adams still race like Joe Shimoda did? I know the thumb is a little different and it plays definitely a part, especially with your fingers. But no, I hope Drew comes back and he's healthy with that. But I think, the Cowboy boys really, really impressed me in the 250 class. Cole Davies, man, I think he just, once he gets those starts figured out, he will be up there and definitely hard to pass. He was looking phenomenal. It was really cool to see even in that heat, even though, we had Star Yamaha all up top, we had Cody Schock in the mix on his Yamaha. So it was all Yamahas for the top five, which I thought was awesome and definitely a bonus for the manufacturer for Yamaha. Pierce Brown, honestly, I'm becoming even more of a fan. The red plate does look good on him. But I'm definitely becoming way more of a fan. I thought he rode great, and it's Daytona. That track was brutal. Those ruts were insane. The sand section, and we'll get even more into that with the line choices, especially with the premier class with 450s. But no, I thought it was great racing. Daxon Bennett taking P5 on the night, not too bad. I thought it was awesome racing for the 250 class.
Yeah, we also saw Nate Thrasher in the heats was looking real good. Brought it together for a top 10 finish. Colin Park again with the top 10 finish. I'm not mad about. We saw Jalek Swoll was dealing with some issues again this
Yeah,
weekend. Caden Dudney was dealing with some issues, especially with that interaction with Cole Davies, which I'm chalking up, brother. You kind of tried to cut down a little bit, and he had already passed you up. I think it was just a light tap, and Dudney was trying to pull it together, ended up going down. I don't think it's on Cole Davies. I don't think he purposefully took him out, and I don't think it's that big of a deal. I
yeah,
think, Dudney, you're learning just like Cole Davies had to learn when he started. Although I don't think he's as cruel of a teacher as Deegan was his first year. I think it's
fair point.
okay, dude. I shouldn't have cut down like that. I don't know why I did
Too
that. He's
soon.
fat.
Yeah,
It's not just that. It is kind of and I'm just going to be honest about it. It is a kind of know your place, man. Right? Absolutely, you have to know your place. I'm faster than you every single lap. If I'm cutting on the inside and I've got the pass, stick to the outside and let's keep it up. Instead, I think Dudney was like, this is my chance to show that I can battle one of the fastest dudes out here. And he learned really quickly that that wasn't going to happen because Cole Davies is having to charge through the pack with what you
yeah,
mentioned. I think we're watching a mirror of Levi Kitchen happening with Cole Davies on the East Coast right now, where it's this. He has the speed to put it up there.
yeah.
But
Great point. Yeah,
if he keeps getting bad starts, it doesn't matter. Now, he's still within points contention, right? We're 2 rounds into the East Coast. But I got to say, I agree with you. The red plate looks great on a 3-digit number, man. It looks cool to have a 163 with the red plate.
yeah,
And God knows Pierce Brown has been working for this for the last couple of years. Coming back from injury, it was a solid performance. Um, I would say Daxton Bennett kind of surprised me a bit because we're
yeah.
used to
Okay.
him podiuming early in the series, right? First race, he usually gets like a good podium, but then he starts drifting off. This one, he got a good start. He maintained the top 5 position. He handled himself well, and it just goes good for him in the points, right?
Yeah,
Joe Shimoda's doing the same. Cole Davies is trying to do what he can to claw points back, but none of that mattered because from the first corner, Seth Hamaker launched out of that gate
yep.
and was like, I'm not looking back at all. I've got a good head on my shoulders. I've got a good mindset going in. And I think he totally deserved the win. I think it was an
Yeah.
awesome night of racing.
And with that, and with everything kind of going on with Cowie from when stuff was said with like even on, the Steve Mathis show and Jake Weimer making some comments and we won't get into all of it, but do you think after maybe Cowie is just being a little more lenient, like letting the riders do a little more? We also know that right up to leading into Daytona, we had Sexton crash and now has a hip and little back injury, so we don't know any more updates than that. Do you think, because you mentioned it before we started going on the pod, that maybe a lot of it is starting to loosen up a little more with Cowie? Not that we actually know, but it just kind of what we've been hearing allegedly and stuff like that. Like, what's kind of your take on that? Because seeing the PC boys up like that, great starts, and the bikes look really good right now. What's
Mhm.
your take?
I think you kind of nailed an interesting point that I think should be considered, right? Which is okay, so now we've got Garrett Marchbanks, right, finishing top 10 in the
Mm-hmm.
450 class, getting his best result.
P7.
Could,
Yeah.
or yeah, P7, right? Is that due to the fact that we lost our main rider during the week? And now we need to start looking at the program and the bikes and seeing if there really is something we need to change. And is it the fact that those changes were implemented and all of a sudden the 250 class is doing a hell of a lot better and now all of a sudden the 450 rider is showing that he's comfortable. I don't know how many post-race interviews we had to see of him going, I haven't felt comfortable to keep up the pace in a main event in a long time on these bikes.
Yeah.
This weekend, I felt very comfortable keeping up that pace.
And he said that he was doing good testing. He's in the interviews.
Stuff up. So it's that we've also got like Chad Reed is talking on the Jackson podcast, right? About like, dude, your goal is every Saturday that gate is going to drop, whether you are there or not.
Yeah.
For me, it's obviously this is shooking him up because, dude, Chase Sexton is 5th in points.
Yeah.
He's 5th in points. Garrett Marchbanks is not 5th in points, dog.
Yeah.
The fact that he's able to put up a P7 and he goes, hey, we made these changes. Maybe that's the deal. It makes you wonder, are they only making those changes because they've lost their main rider due to something that they should have changed?
Or
we don't know. Go ahead.
Since Chase was out, did they change the graphics, the plates, and put Garrett's on Chase's bike to test that out more? That could be kind of interesting. I don't know if that, we're just speculating here because, but I could see maybe that maybe happening, but I think obviously Garrett has his bike, wants to get it dialed and so on like that, but maybe they were using even Garrett to even take those settings that he used and possibly put it on Chase's and test that out because it was so good. But I mean, yeah, we don't know.
Possibly. I mean, he's getting around the position that Chase was getting anyways, right?
Yeah.
And if anybody goes, oh, come on, Trevor, what do you want me to do, dude? I'm watching the same fucking race you are.
Yeah.
I'm watching the same race you are, dog. But it is crazy that Garrett Marchbanks goes from like top 15 at the bottom of the barrel to 7th. That is a fucking change.
That's a big change. Yeah.
We started changing stuff on the bike, and now I'm feeling comfortable. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's more than likely a duck, brother. I think it's one of those, hey, mechanics, can we have prevented Chase crashing and hurting his hip and back? And they're like, yeah, probably. It's like, well, fucking change it then, right?
Yeah.
But my thing is there's another thing Chad Reed says, and it's like omitting injury, right? If you're injured, it's different. But every Saturday that gate drops, whether you're there or not. Kawasaki doesn't want their 5th place person who has a chance to work his way into the top 3 of this championship. Maybe not to the win, right? If Eli and Hunter are racing at this level.
Yeah.
Sorry, from what I've seen from Chase. And this is my hot take that people might get a little mad about, but I really don't give a fuck. Chase hasn't shown us a top 3 fight since he was on Honda. I don't expect it from him anymore. I do not expect him to come back and put on that championship rivalry. I don't see it happening. That's just me. If it was going to happen, it would have happened. For instance, if it was going to happen for Eli, it was going to happen. He moved to a new bike and he went, no, I want to exactly like this. When Chase is in a mode of desperation and he comes to the negotiating table and they go, brother, you haven't put on a championship performance since Honda.
Well, he did win. Chase did win one race this year, but it's like you said, where
so did Hunter?
Where is it?
In second, or Hunter's got the red plate.
Yes, yeah. But it's like, why change so much?
But this is the thing. Oh, okay. Like let's look at the 450 SX championship, right? Hunter Lawrence has been mostly 2nd to 4th.
Yeah.
He has won 1 in Arlington. We look at Chase's, right? He won 1 in Anaheim too.
Yeah.
He's 5th in points. That's not a championship fight. That's a lucky day.
Yeah.
That's a lucky day.
With being out for 2 rounds now, 1 from injury and then 2, I believe, bike issues.
But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is like when you look at everything, right? An eighth, a fourth, a first, a fifth, a seventh, a fifth, and a sixth aren't going to give you the championship compared to a fourth, second, fourth, first, second.
Yeah.
Or an Eli Tomac, first, third, fourth, and then the 12th launches him down in points, right? First, second, first. That's a championship fight.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me if when he got to Kawasaki and was like, hey, I think we should make changes to the bike. They're like, no offense, brother. No offense, but like we're running shit.
Yeah.
You haven't put up a championship fight. We needed a rider. And that's when you get to the conversation of what Chad Reed was kind of talking about on that podcast, which is, okay, dude, it's your job to show up no matter what.
Yeah.
It's your job to win on no matter what. It's your job to figure it out. If they don't want to let you figure it out, that gate drops whether you're there or not.
Yeah. 100%.
So if Chase is dealing with that on his off time, I guarantee you Hunter Lawrence isn't going at Honda and going, why isn't the bike faster? They're sitting there going, we're doing good.
Yeah.
Eli Tomac's looking at KTM and he's like, Paul Rudd from Hot Ones. He's like, who would have thought, brother? And they're like, not me. Not fucking me. We're crushing this shit.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? It's just different levels. So when we talk about Kawasaki and it's like, hey, that's crazy how good of a weekend Kawasaki had like this weekend. There's a reason we should be talking about it
100%.
when their main rider is not racing because of a hip and back injury sustained in practice. Yeah, we should be talking about that because it involves the moto industry. It involves Kawasaki's performance. And if the riders are going, yeah, we changed some things when they mean to be like, we finally changed some things.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, more than likely. I hope that they listen to riders more and change stuff up. But again, I'm not in the Kawasaki paddock.
Yeah.
I'm not at the test track with Kawasaki. I'm simply a guy watching the same race you are going, huh. Yeah, they did just lose their main rider that they put out a Hawaii video for. So it makes sense if they started moving stuff around for the rider that is able to line up. Because again, every Saturday it's your job to line up there, right?
Unless hurt out of,
Unless hurt, right. But that's the thing is like, Garrett Marchbanks, you're going to have to line up no matter what ride they give you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the job. That's what you signed up for. That's it.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I think we see more riders taking time off for like vague individual things when it's like, we could just be open and honest and be like, hey, I don't know what it is, but we can't do that because the manufacturers sell bikes.
Exactly.
Right. So these
and
riders
this is their
can't
job.
Be like, hey, the Kawasaki's going to chew you up and spit you out. They have to be like, well, we're doing some stuff on the bike while getting flashbacks of Chase Sexton obliterating himself on the practice track. Right. Like, that's not a comfortable place to be. We also saw Drew Adams after breaking his thumb. Right.
God,
probably
he was
gonna
ripping.
Be some probably going to be some tendon damage. It's probably going to be rough. Will he line up? I don't know.
Yeah.
But what we're seeing is it's like, yeah, we rock the paddle tire and it doesn't get traction in the whoops. And it's like, I don't know about you, but that whoop section is scarier than the start for me. It's ended more people's career than the fucking start section for me.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree.
So it comes down to like, well, what are the choices that we're making? Because I hear Dungy, right? Eli Tomac's mechanic go, yeah, when we ditched the paddle tire when we needed to, he fucking crushed it.
Yeah.
When we used this clutch that he wanted, he's beating the shit out of everybody else. AP couldn't keep up with him. Is there a merit to these conversations? We've got all these computers and stuff now that put power to the ground, right? We've got fuel injected. The game has changed. If you're not changing with it, you might end up having a bunch of hurt riders on your roster that can't keep up with the people who are figuring it out.
Yeah.
If you can't figure it out, you become a dying industry and you will fall off. That's the simple fact of it, dude.
That's how the cookie crumbles.
Fact. And that's the way the cookie crumbles for the 250 class.
But since we've been on the talk with 450s, we're getting into the 450s now.
Let's get into the 450s.
And I will say this. Yes, it was Daytona, but it has been said over and over. It was Daytomac. It was Daytomac. Tomac making history, winning at Daytona 8 times. And he was tied. I forgot the NASCAR that won the, 500, I believe, 7 times in a row. So they were tied, not in a row, but 7 times. And yeah, Eli Tomac making history there. I thought that was awesome. And I know you definitely want to talk about Tomac. So let's get into the 450s.
Let's get into it, but let me remind you of something. Edit in right here what my predictions.
Oh, play it.
Top four. Play it. It's going to be Eli Tomac, Hunter Lawrence, but I think, my wild card is going to be my third is going to be Ken Roczen, and you can interchange all 3 of those, right?
Yeah.
First, second, and third. I think those are going to be our top 3. Wild card is going to be Cooper Webb. Told you.
On the money.
Eli Tomac is going to come out and wage war against the world. This is his domain. You only get to line up at Daytona because Eli Tomac is a charitable man.
Yeah.
The only reason you get to line up next to Eli Tomac at Daytona is because Florida man said it was okay. Eli Tomac checked in with the local Florida man, shirtless, wrestling crocodiles or alligators, and was like, "Hey, brother, we've got Daytona." And he went, "That's your home. Welcome home." And Eli said, "Thank you." Anyone who lines up on that gate at Daytona is at the mercy of beast mode.
Yeah.
Including Ken Roczen with that pass around the outside.
That was insane. That section was so gnarly because it's like, from what I saw, taking the first inside to outside, I thought was way faster. And Tomac definitely showed us in that, carrying that speed and momentum, railing that outside for the finish line, and then that table, and then the hip. It was, dude, I think we saw a little beast mode, 100%.
I don't think we saw a little beast mode. I think when he was clawing up through the field, we saw straight up beast
after that
mode.
start, yeah.
Because don't get it twisted. Hunter and Roczen were on fucking rails.
Yeah.
And Eli Tomac was like,
and he had to pass them, both of them.
Yeah.
He had to pass
Tomac
Webb,
looked at them.
Roczen, Hunter, I don't,
and when he passed
and Malcolm,
Hunter
I believe too. Yeah.
When he passed Hunter through the sand.
Oh my
He
God.
was like, "I've seen you be a little aggressive with Kenny. That shit ain't happening today, brother.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you into the berm and I'm going to rail sand all in your face and you're going to remember who's king of this motherfucker. Do you understand me?"
Yeah. That was
sand.
So sick, dude. So sick.
But then it's like we've got Ken Roczen racing his ass off going, "I'm clawing back points from when Hunter took me out. I need to get back to the top."
Yeah.
But then we've got Hunter racing probably, and I don't want to minimize this, Hunter racing probably with a win last weekend.
Yep.
Probably the race of his life. He was behind Eli Tomac by a fraction of a second when it comes to lap times. His fastest lap, Hunter's fastest lap, was lap 17. lap 17.
Dude, he is definitely impressing me, especially in that whoop section. I know we caught it. We had to watch it a couple times because my God, how he was. I believe he was trying to make the pass on Kenny, and they were both on the right side of the whoops outside, and um, that big deep rut was right there. And just to avoid that, so he can make that pass.
When we saw him going over the whoops, lapper ahead of him, Ken Roxon literally slicing through the whoop section.
Yeah.
When I saw him bounce like that and I saw that, I was like, it's so
Dear
over.
God. Yeah.
It's so over. And we're about to watch Eli walk away with the championship.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is bad. When I saw him position his body to the left, land and huck that triple, I was like, there's no way.
Talk
And then
about
he
strength, dude.
sees
My
the
God.
lapper, brings the bike down under his legs, and hugs that inside as Roxon gets poised right in the middle.
Yeah.
Genius riding, great line choice, great recovery. And then, like I said, his fastest lap was chasing down Eli Tomac on the last fucking lap,
Yeah.
carving 117.891. Carving. But does that do any good? Not when you've got Eli Tomac putting in 117.257. Not at all.
Beast
bro.
mode, baby.
Beast mode.
Yeah.
So my predictions come true. It's Eli Tomac, Hunter Lawrence, Ken Roxon, wild card of Cooper Webb.
Right on the money.
Joey Savacci keeping himself in the conversation of top 5 overall, being like, hey, dude, I'm putting stuff together. But most surprising, I think it was completely normal to see like Eli Tomac up there. We knew he was going to be up there, but I am surprised mostly by Hunter Lawrence. He showed awesome race IQ. He showed great line choice, and everything about it was to the T, executed the best of his ability. But you're not going to beat Eli Tomac at Daytona when he's on fire like this. It's not happening.
Yeah.
It's just not. And hearing that crowd, I don't care what anybody else says, no other place gets louder for Eli Tomac than Daytona when he's putting on a charge.
Yeah.
It was like watching Lord of the Rings for the first time as a child.
Oh my God.
Right?
100%. Yeah.
It was watching Fellowship of the Ring when Gandalf is on the bridge of Khazad-dûm. In the flame of Udun, Sauron and Morgoth, servant of the older darkened age, stands up and goes, oh, and is coming to kill them. And Gandalf's like, you won't pass.
You shall not pass.
And I'm using this to solo level my XP to become Gandalf the White. So it's on your bitch ass. And I think that's what we're seeing is Eli Tomac with a win in Daytona will refresh his drive and make it to where the rest of the championship is very difficult.
Yeah.
But Eli Tomac is also known for the curse at the end of the season when things get tight. So Eli Tomac knows this, which is why he got it out of the way by chipping his tooth. We get the bad luck out of the way now.
Dude, how freaking crappy is that? To pick up your trophy and it just, you see the tooth fly, man. Like that thing literally had Red Bull itself and had wings, dude. That thing was gone. That definitely sucks, but I'm glad he's okay. And it wasn't like the full tooth, it was just a little chip. But for your profile picture, hopefully he poses or someone captures like that smile with the chipped tooth. That new profile picture right there.
I'm just going to say that my Anaheim 1 picture of Eli Tomac as my profile picture in this Discord is truly one of my favorites because the photographer was just like, just put your hands on your hips and look back at the camera.
Look back
And
at it real quick.
he hit the perfectly, which was also what he was doing to Hunter Lawrence all weekend.
Yeah. Hunter definitely surprised me, dude. I honestly just mad respect for him.
Right.
He's putting it together, probably still at a great time. He's 1 point ahead of ET3. Yeah. Now Hunter knows it is going to be a battle between those two. And when it came time with Tomac hitting the finish line, you see Hunter Lawrence right there. He probably had before the final lap, I think it was up to 4 seconds behind Tomac, down to probably 2. So he was making ground, he was fighting, and it's like, dang, I think if it probably would have had maybe like right after they hit that finish line, 2+ laps right there, I think we would have seen an insane battle between the two. But again, you're not beating Tomac at Daytomac land at all whatsoever.
So the interesting thing about that, right, is when we look at the total time, right?
Mm-hmm.
17 laps. We have Eli Tomac's finish time of 21 minutes, 56 seconds, 0.314 milliseconds, right? Hunter Lawrence was 21:57.643. That's a second that he was behind.
Yeah.
Right there within contention. So yeah, if we had a couple more laps, we might have seen it, but
I think we will coming up, definitely. But no, I thought that was absolutely freaking awesome. Excuse me. And even Malcolm was really impressing me each race. It's just more impressive being up there. Great starts. And not to talk much more of Eli, but when I was watching race day live, they were talking about he got together with KTM. He went out to one of the tracks and was practicing starts, I think Wednesday, Thursday, or Thursday, Friday before the race. Or sorry, not Friday because that was press day, but Wednesday, Thursday, at one of the tracks. I forgot which track. But he was out there practicing starts, and we definitely saw way better starts at Daytona, and they're figuring that out so much more. So I'm happy with that. But going back to, more of the field, AP definitely surprising me a lot more. He's getting back into that flow. And I think Daytona is more his track too. So it's like, a little rough, sandy, kind of that off-road feel before he just focused more on motocross. So, it was awesome. Joey Savacci definitely impressing me. What is it? Justin Hill did awesome too, and he won the LCQ. Definitely looking good, and we can't count him out. Like, the style is just freaking awesome that he has. But no, I thought it was an awesome race. The track was the track definitely looked a lot faster than what we are used to seeing, and Ricky did comment on that he made it a little more fast paced, which we definitely saw with these riders, with a lot of technical sections and the sand kind of balancing everything out within the track. So I thought it was awesome racing. I was a little nervous because when I was watching some clips, it was raining on Friday, and when they were doing the Jeremy McGrath's whole King of the Whole Shot stuff, which is pretty cool. So a lot of the old dogs were out there. McGrath, I think Pastrana was out there. You had Ricky, Adam Sensorilo did it. So that's pretty sick. So I'm just excited for coming into the next race. I think we should give our predictions because we have been on it You called
Mhm.
it by the T. My wild card was Ken Roxon,
Mhm.
and holy shit. So we we got some good racing, especially in the 450 by 1 point between the red plate holder Hunter
Mhm.
Lawrence and Eli Tomac.
That's right. You're wanting my predictions for 250s and 450s.
Absolutely hit it.
250. We're going to Indianapolis. I'm going to go top three: Pierce Brown, Joe Shimoda, Cole Davies. And I think my wild card is going to be Seth Hammaker.
Okay.
I think that is a good look. I think this is going to renew some speed in Seth Hammaker, and I think he's going to want to prove something.
Yeah.
But I would also say like my dual wild card would be like, in my opinion, I think Nate Thrasher. Nate Thrasher has been putting some speed behind him, especially in those heats. And I think it all builds momentum in terms of mindset going in. So
Yeah.
those are like my top five that I'm looking at.
Okay.
Um,
Good
for
picks.
450s, I'm gonna have to go Indianapolis. I think is either going to be Hunter Lawrence or Cooper Webb, and Eli Tomac in the mix. I think it's one of those, because these are our top four in points. It's impossible to ignore them, especially when they're putting on the performance that they are every week.
Yep.
Um, yeah. So I think that's going to be it. But I do think Joey Savacci has been impressing me with how he's kind of climbing the ladder. And I
Mm-hmm.
think Justin Cooper went down pretty hard in leaving the sand section, if I'm not mistaken, or entering the sand section.
Entering, yeah. He hit right on the lip after washing
Yeah.
out the front, I believe. Yeah.
So I think what I'm going to say is I think if Hunter Lawrence can really build a charge to help solidify his lead, I'm going to go Hunter Lawrence in Indianapolis. I think Ken Roxon's a good wild card, but I think this weekend probably irritated him more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, this was one of the best finishes that he's had this season. So I think it's interesting. I think I'm going to go Hunter Lawrence, Eli Tomac, Cooper Webb, fourth, Ken Roxon.
Okay. I could see that. That's yeah, those are some good picks. For my 250 going into Indianapolis, and I believe it is a triple crown as well.
Then Cooper Webb, man. Cooper
It
Webb
is so
is
so for my 250s, I'm gonna go with Seth Haymaker.
mhm.
Uh First, I think if Cole Davies does get a great start and doesn't have to fight through the pack and start, I'm not necessarily he's getting tired towards the end because he's just pushing and putting in those sprint laps, but if he does get a good start, it's between those two. I think Cole Davies really wants to get on top of the podium and take first. So we'll see how that plays out. But I think my just solid Seth Haymaker, Cole Davies, Pierce Brown, and my wild card to really be in the mix is probably going to be Joe Shimoda, because I know he's fast, he's right there. Maybe Daytona, it just wasn't the feel, but though it's basically going to be the results of Daytona. So that's I'm gonna go with
Mhm.
that 450. Um, if it is, yeah, the Triple Crown, I might go with Cooper Webb taking top spot with that race IQ, especially within the Triple Crown. Um, so I think it'll be Cooper Webb, Eli Tomac, Hunter Lawrence, and my wild card is probably gonna have to be Joey Savacci.
Interesting. Yeah, the reason I'm thinking it's going to be Hunter and Eli is we're looking at consistency,
Yeah.
right? Cooper Webb is good at that. I think the other thing is these triple crowns really do good for those dudes who can do that speed for a little bit that
Yes.
usually drop out towards the end. It's what makes Ken Roxon a wild card, right?
Yeah.
Because he's got fast speed as soon as he blasts out of the gate. And if he only has to keep it up and gets a break in between all of these mains, well, then I'm going to go out with everything that I have, which makes it interesting. But Cooper Webb is the king of triple crowns in the past for consistency. I just
Yeah.
need to get top 3 every single race because if anything happens, I'm there to
Exactly. There to pick up
pick up
any
the pieces.
countering. Yeah.
Right. So, but when we're looking at consistency, it's Eli Tomac and Hunter Lawrence every single time. So I
Yeah.
think we're going to see a battle between them for all 3 races with a chance for Cooper Webb to pick it up. We've seen that Ken Roxon, once he gets to a certain level, he gets gassed. Triple crowns aren't usually the greatest for Ken because of this factor. But if he can put it together just for the mains that matter, then we're looking at a good race.
Yeah. I'm definitely excited. Do you have anything more to add before we wrap it up here?
Nope.
Nope. Daytona. Daytomac. What an awesome race. We can't look more forward. We can't look more excited for Indianapolis. We are excited for Indianapolis to see how 250 East and the 450 Premier Class goes. So do the thing. Leave a like. Make sure that you subscribe. Comment on what you thought about Daytona and your thoughts on going into Indianapolis or what you guys think of the channel. Definitely give us some feedback so we can play it off, and we love to hear it, or talk moto. So be sure to drop some comments, and we'll see you after Indianapolis. I'll be off in Texas for a whole week for Spring a Ding, some top amateur racing. So I'm going out there to film, leaving Saturday. So when I
Spring a Ding.
Spring
It's
a
my
Ding,
nickname in college.
oh my gosh,
We'll see you in Indianapolis.
they're Indianapolis.
After Indianapolis.